Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Just Fish Outdoors. I'm your host, Dale York, and I have two very special guests on the phone with me today. One of them, his name is Vance Montgomery, and he's head of Montgomery Productions, and he puts on, in my humble opinion, some of the best outdoor shows in the Midwest. And the other one is crappie fisherman extraordinaire, Todd Huckabee, who is just absolutely fantastic at keeping on these fish and catching them. And hopefully he's going to share some of his tips with us today. So jump on in here, Vance and Todd. Glad to have you on the show, and welcome.
Yeah, good to be here, Todd. Good to be here, Dale. Appreciate it.
And
yep, this is Todd. Thank you.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Most welcome. All right. I guess maybe we should start talking about the two great shows we have coming up here in Oklahoma, Northeast Oklahoma and Center Oklahoma. Boy, these shows are fantastic, and Vance just does a marvelous job of putting these things on. And Vance, come on in here and let's talk about the first one in the Oklahoma Tackle Hunting and Boat Show in El Reno coming up this weekend.
Yes, sir. So pretty excited. We're actually putting the show together as we speak. So the show's coming this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 11th through the 13th. You know, this is the 37th annual of this event. And, but it is in a new location. We're going to have the show for the first time in a very brand new. We're actually the first event to be held in this new facility. It's pretty exciting. It's actually, when I seen this building coming together, it was hard to imagine what it was going to look like. Man, this thing, they really, El Reno, Oklahoma, it's called the Canadian County Expo Center. It's in El Reno, Oklahoma. They did a fantastic job. I mean, we're going to actually be able to have the largest show of this kind in the state now at this facility.
Wow.
So now we can not only have a fish and tackle hunting show, we've got boats, we got things that I don't know that I've never had room to do, and we've got a great, I know, our show's always been kind of known for having sales and specials and that's what it's all about. And the last couple of years, it's kind of been hard to really make it good with a PA system that wasn't real clear. This facility has like state-of-the-art sound system, the best I've ever heard. And I mean, you could have a major concert here, matter of fact. So I'm pretty excited about this show. It's really coming together awesome.
Well, that sounds just absolutely marvelous. One of the things that your shows are known for, and I really enjoy, is they're really known for having something for the entire family. The children and the wives are involved, and it's just a complete show.
Yeah, so we and I think by having a little more room, we're getting to have something maybe kind of similar to what we got to have back in the Clam War days. This matter of fact, this facility will remind you a little bit about that Clam War show that was, kind of nationally known. And this, we're able to kind of bring back some of that more family thing by having, kids fishing ponds and archery shooting games and, giving away rods and reels to the kids and, making it a lot of fun for the whole family.
Oh, wow. That's just fantastic. Your shows, I've been involved with them now for several years as well. And your shows just continue to grow and expand every year. And I really want to, hit some of the highlights on these, especially to let our listeners know that, one of the things that your shows really do well, and that's bring quality vendors to your shows.
Absolutely. One thing that I've got to see over time is I've got to see, the shows going from really good to having a little more trouble. We went through a time frame that we had a lot of the big companies kind of buy out all the little guys, and it became a lot harder for the expos to have a good variety, honestly, of small vendors and tackle shops, and it made it a real challenge. In the last 3 years, I've seen it go just the opposite of that. I'm seeing a lot of the big companies kind of go away and struggle, and there've been just this huge push of new, small, custom companies, especially in the tackle and hunting industry. Is just crazy how many new companies that I have to pick from and to bring to these expos. And it's really cool because it's not product that you can just go to Bass Pro and see, or Cabela's and see. These are companies that if you don't come this weekend, you won't get to see them till the next year.
Right.
And there's more of that than I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Wow. That's saying something. I see the same thing a little bit on my side of it. I've seen the exponential growth of small lure and small tackle companies just growing leaps and bounds in the last couple of years.
Well, just like, we got Todd on the phone, Todd's, one of the owners of the Huckabee rods, and,
right.
Like his company, it's growing. They've got a great product, and, I'm so glad to see all these small companies come about, and they're flourishing right now. They're really out there beating the bushes, and they're doing these shows, and a lot of the companies that thought they didn't need to are going away, and now all these little guys are like, hey, we're gonna bust our tail and we're gonna make it happen.
Well, there's
it's paying off.
Yeah, there's no substitute for quality. Go ahead, Todd.
One of the really great things about these smaller companies at shows like this is that they don't have 10 bosses to get approval to run good sales at these shows. And that's what these shows are about, is coming out here and being able to purchase something cheap. And so these small companies, they can come out here, and if they decide at noon on Saturday, hey, for the next hour, we're going to run this stuff, at a big markdown, they can do it right then because they're the owner of the company that's actually there working the booth. And so that's one of the great things about having these smaller companies here is, they can do sales. They can make knee-jerk reactions and say, hey, this show's really great. It's a good chance to get my product in a lot of people's hands. For the next hour, we're going to take $2 off every package of baits or whatever it may be.
That's what makes these shows what they are. Is that's exactly right, Todd. I mean, is to get to have those 5-minute specials that they're promoting. They may almost give them away. That's what makes it fun. And I know, Dale, you've got to see that over time, and I think you're going to see that more at these shows than we have seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, that's one of the other great things about many of these smaller tackle shows and smaller tackle companies is most of these tackle companies are run by fishermen. They're not run by a corporate bean counter. They're run by someone who actually uses that equipment, as in Huckabee rods. That whole rod design, came out of Todd's wantings and design efforts to build him, the best rod that he could fish with. And there's no substitute for that. Corporations can't build that.
Nope.
They're relying way too much on the bottom line, and in many cases, what they produce is just junk to the general fisherman. I mean, they're not fishermen, right?
They don't go out and field test it, and Todd spent hundreds and hundreds of hours on the water,
right,
figuring out exactly what he wanted to be able to boat flip a 3-pound crappie.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's just, you don't find that a lot in the big companies anymore. They won't spend that kind of effort to put it in people's hands. And, I'm really always been a proud of the small business guy. That's what I am, and that's what I stand for. And that's what I look for every year. I spend the whole, 10 months a year, I'm looking for that little guy that can bring something special to this show.
Yeah.
Or these shows.
Yeah.
And to let everybody see a new product that they haven't ever seen before.
Yeah.
And I'm more excited about that right now. The last 2 years has really been a game changer in seeing all these little guys come about, that I've got the opportunity now to bring 30 or 40 different companies new that we didn't even have last year.
Oh, wow.
You know, that are all bringing stuff that me and you've never seen, never got to throw it in the water. You know,
wow.
And that's cool. Very cool. That's what the tackle shows are all about.
Yeah, let's dwell in just a little bit more and talk about this show in El Reno opens Friday, and let's talk a little bit about specifically the El Reno show. I know you usually do a really, really good ad and really good things for the kids the first day or so. Tell us a little bit about what you got planned for everyone in the El Reno show.
So, essentially this was the same show that we put on 37 years at the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds. We just felt like it was time for a facelift of this show, and we're going to bring it to El Reno, Oklahoma, this brand new, awesome facility. And, the first night that we're going to be here, the first day we're going to be here, we've always kind of had a kids' night. And I like kind of promoting to the future of, giving the families an opportunity to bring their kids out and maybe let them experience a little bit about the outdoors for maybe the very first time. We've got an indoor fishing pond. You can bring your kids out and let them go fishing, let them catch a fish. It might change their whole life. We're going to give away 300 rods and reels to the kids. You can take them out and let them archery, shoot a bow. We've got lots of activities. We even got other vendors that'll give away tackle. They'll just randomly, the kids will get to walk around. They get different lures and stuff, and it's a cool deal for them.
Oh yeah.
But then on the other hand, it's we haven't forgot about the guys that are coming out here that will eat, sleep, and breathe fishing and hunting.
Yeah.
We're doing something, and one kind of thing new we're doing is, we brought a display this year for the whitetail guys. We've got a display of some of the biggest whitetail antlers that was taken in 2021 season on display. We've got Whitebeard Marine as our presenting sponsor this year. They've got a huge display of Skeeter boats and all their different companies that they represent. They got a huge booth. I mean, they got more boats here than 2 or 3 dealers combined normally would have.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got the Fetch and Fish Dogs show. Jason Reynolds puts on one of the most unique high flying retriever dog shows that he's a great entertainer. The kids love it. The parents love it. I mean, I've seen it 100 times, and I still enjoy watching. I know you've seen it a lot.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yep. It's really fun watching those dogs, work and do their show routine and jump in the bathtub and see all the fish moving, and it's a cool deal. It really is. And then Saturday is what it is. It's big sales. We'll have a PA guy walking around to the different vendors and making announcements, for the next 5 minutes, such and such booth is going to run this sale. We'll do that all through the whole day. Then on Sunday, is kind of I call the sell-off day. That's when the vendors really will cut some corners, and they're trying to get rid of inventory so they don't have to pack it up.
Right.
And then we got a new deal that just kind of materialized in the last week or so. Don Brewer from the Swamp People is actually going to come. He made contact with me a few days ago. He's going to be in town. He's going to do a meet and greet with. He's the new guy on the Swamp People. He's going to do a meet and greet from 10 to 2 on Sunday at this show in El Reno.
Yeah.
If you guys are Swamp People fans, come out and meet him. He's a super nice guy. You can get his autograph, shake his hand, and I think there's something here for everybody.
Oh yeah, that's one of the trademarks of your shows is, the whole family can come out, and there is truly something for everyone to be interested in. And, one of the things
I will say this, Dale, not to interrupt you, but one thing that I definitely don't want to leave out, I'd like Todd to get in on this is, of all the things we got going here, probably the number one, especially for the guys that are really interested in learning to be a better outfitter.
So we've got the 2020 and 2021 world champion of the Crappie Expo tournament. Both of the last two world champions going to be here, Jerry Hancock and Jeff Lark. And both of these guys are full-time guides. Jerry's a full-time guide down at Lake Fork for Crappie. Jeff is a full-time guide at Millwood, Nimrod, and Arkansas. And we're going to be here doing some seminars. Trust me, I watched them speak last weekend at Years of the Jig, and you definitely don't want to miss out. Of course, I want everybody to come out and listen to me speak. I'm going to be doing some seminars also, but Saturday we're going to be all three doing a seminar together. But both of these guys, they fish completely different. Jerry Hancock fishes really deep on Lake Fork for crappie.
Right.
Like today they were probably catching them 35 to 40 foot deep. Anybody that follows him on Facebook knows that.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Larch, of course, fishes the really shallow, muddy lakes there in Arkansas. And so no matter what lakes you fish, we've got guys here that are going to be talking about different styles for different bodies of water. And both those guys are awesome. We've got a lot of crappie vendors here that are kind of new to this area. Crappie Magnet, of course, is everybody's kind of familiar with that brand now because they've grown so much in the last couple of years. They'll be here. Mad Fishing will be here. They've got a bunch of different crappie products. A new braided line for crappie. Crappie Customs will be here. New company, kind of out of the Muskogee area that does custom plastics for crappie. And so I know I'm leaving out a bunch of other companies and people, but I know we don't have all day. I could go on all day, but definitely want to get out here and listen to the two guys combined that just won over, $200,000 in crappie tournament for 2 wins. I mean,
and we don't want to leave out Todd Huckabee. This boy is the best speaker that, I know he doesn't want to brag on himself, but Todd is one of the best speakers on fishing knowledge of anybody I've ever listened to.
Well, I appreciate that. The great thing about like Jerry and Jeff, and I like to think myself, is this is not going to be an infomercial. We're not going to stand up there and tell you what products you need to buy. We're actually teaching. And a lot of that comes with being full-time guides as opposed to just full-time tournament fishermen. We're going to teach you. We do it every day in the boat with clients. So be sure and come see us.
Yeah, that's another one of the very, very great things about the shows that Vance puts on is he brings in so many pros and guides, and they cover just a myriad of topics, everything from crappie to catfish to bass to hybrids to stripers. They have someone doing seminars that you can sit in and pull some tidbits of information that they're going to throw out at you to actually take to the lake and use next time you're out there. And,
Danny King is going to be here doing seminars.
Right.
Of course, anybody who's ever caught a catfish knows the name Danny King.
Right.
Chuck Justice. He caught more 10-pound largemouth than any person in the state.
Right.
These boys you can take advantage. These guys on the water year in, year out, almost, 300 days a year.
Right.
And they've learned a lot. If you'll listen to them, you can learn more in 30 minutes than you might learn on your own in 10 years.
Well,
they know the trade, Dale, just like you do.
Right. Well, is there a phone number that anyone can call to get more information on the El Reno show?
Oh, absolutely. So you can call 918-520-3474. You can also go on our website, MontgomeryProductions.com. We have an awesome Facebook presence. Matter of fact, that's probably the best thing to do is to go on to each show, the Oklahoma Tackle Hunting and Boat Show, has a great Facebook page. The Mid-South Tackle Hunting and Boat Show up at Grove has its own page as well. We really spend a lot of time and effort keeping those pages updated and kind of putting some stuff on there about all the different attractions, all the seminar, the schedule of events are
Right.
all on the website and the Facebook page. You can, but hey, if guys have got questions that they don't see, they're welcome to call that 918-520-3474 number, and I'll answer it day and night.
Yeah. And once again, folks, we're talking right now specifically about the Tackle Hunting and Boat Show that's going to be in El Reno, Oklahoma, February the 11th through the 13th. And Vance, what's the hours on those dates?
So Friday is 12 to 7, Saturday is 9 to 6, and Sunday is 9 to 3.
And folks, as Vance was telling us earlier, this show in El Reno is just jam-packed full of boats, tackle hunting, seminars, anything that you would like to get a hold of. They're going to have some fantastic tackle deals, I can tell you. I can promise you from personal experience in some of his past shows, they're going to have some deals out there. So, with spring fishing,
we've been working 10 months for to put on these 3 days,
right?
And it takes a huge team to make this happen. And, I think the guys that come to this show are really going to enjoy what they're going to see here. We've put together a very, very phenomenal event for everybody this year.
Oh, no doubt. And folks, while you're at the El Reno show, be sure to stop by and check out those Huckabee rods and maybe get a chance to talk to Todd if he's hanging out around there somewhere. And I encourage you to do that. He's very down to earth. Stop and ask him a question. I guarantee you he'll give you an answer, or he'll find someone who can, one or the other. So that'll wrap us up around the El Reno show. So let's kick off another week. Now we're talking about the Grove show down in Grove, Oklahoma, which is February the 18th through the 20th. Vance, take us through some of the things that you got going on next week down in Grove.
So, at the Grove show, basically the Mid-South Tackle Hunting and Boat Show, February 18th through the 20th. It sets, at Grand Lake, so that in itself makes this event pretty special. Grand Lake's definitely one of the top fishing lakes in the country. It's always been known to be a awesome fishery, and, they've had 2 Bassmaster classics here in the last 10 years, and there's a ton of fishermen that live in northeastern Oklahoma because there's so much good water. There's if you live in the Tulsa area, Joplin area, Pittsburgh, Fort Smith, you're in the area of this show. We kind of promote it as a 4-state region event.
Yeah,
and it is what it is. I mean, the tackle show, this show's been going on 23 years. We started it in Claremore, Oklahoma. We went from there to Bixby, and now it's evolved into Grove. And, it's crazy how this show at Grove, Oklahoma has grown to what it is. I mean, it is kind of one of those shows I didn't have to make a call on. I have so many vendors wanting to be in it that we have a major waiting list right now for it. It's really it's kind of fun when it's like that because you can really pick and choose your vendors.
Yeah,
just because you want to be in the show doesn't mean you get to be in the show.
Right,
and by that I can, especially as me being a fisherman, I can really pick, and I know what's going to be good and what's not going to be good.
Right.
And, so we're really excited about the 2022 event at Grove. I mean, it's going to be the best variety of fishing tackle that our show in northeastern Oklahoma has had in many years.
Well, that show is always near and dear to my heart because the quality of the vendors that you pull in for that show and the amount of tackle that sales that go on in the course of that show is just outstanding. A person can come to that show and get everything they need for a spring a spring runaround on a fishing. You know, everything they need to stock up on, they can get it right there at that one show.
Yeah, it's one of those events that really, you know, there's guys that come in and say, "Man, I'm buying for the whole year, not just for springtime."
Oh yeah,
you know, they're buying their whole year's supply of crappie jigs or bass tackle or whatever, catfish rods or whatever it might be. I mean, we've got battery companies to, you know, lithium battery companies to force tackle, to Gibson bait and tackle, to BFO baits, to Seasons tackle, to Bass and Magazine, to Danny King's Bass Quando. I mean, it's just on and on. I mean, there's a different company that's very unique in every 10 foot.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're a fisherman, that's kind of what you expect at a tackle show, and that's what this is.
Right. And Todd, I know you're going to be there with a booth as well, and I know you're going to be doing seminars. Have you come out with any new rods this year? You previewing any new rods for the spring of 22?
Yeah, actually we do. We'll have the new 16-foot K-rod there. That's new for all the guys that are ate up with live scope chasing open water fish. We've got a 16-footer. It's going to blow some people's mind when they pick it up. We had it last weekend at the show in Missouri, and you know, as all materials get better with time, but we've got a 16-footer that weighs about as much as a 10-footer that's got enough backbone to lift a center block if you wanted to. So we've got that, and the new Mad Brave will be there. Crappie Magnet will be at that show as well. And then we've got Rob's Tackle coming in, which is all crappie, and they're going to have everything there from every type of electric fillet knife to they're going to have all the full line of redneck rubber. They're going to have bonehead. They're going to have I could keep going, but I will say that for everybody out there listening, the big deal at Grove will be this is going to be your first shot to buy the new redneck rubber beaver bottom that's our small size. We will have it at Grove, and that'll be the first time any public person's going to be able to buy it.
Wow.
We actually got them in, and I talked to the owners today, and they were getting them packaged as we speak, and they'll be in the Rob's Tackle booth. So, yeah, and Jeff Larch, Jerry Hancock, there'll be a bunch of other crappie guys there too. And then for any of your fans out there that listen to the Crappie Connection, which is a podcast, YouTube channel directed at crappie fishing, they'll be there interviewing all of the crappie guys from Robert Robinson to Jeff Larch to Jerry Hancock, me, and like I say, I could keep going on and on and on. But the cool thing for me being a crappie fisherman at these two shows is that I don't know that. Well, I know Oklahoma's never had this many world champions and national champions, angler of the year stuff in the crappie world is what we're going to have at this show. And then we're going to duplicate it again next weekend at Grove.
That's awesome. That's awesome. People who do crappie fish, that's going to be a place to go to really pick some brains and get a hold of some of the new tackle that's coming out, as well as look over those 16-foot rods. That just blows me away, crappie fishing with a 16-foot rod. I don't know if I'm mentally ready for that or not, but I think that's going to be an acquired skill on my part. I may have to think about that in a while. That's a long rod. The whole deal is that these fish are getting smarter. They're getting more pressured now than ever, and you can't get up on top of them anymore. We've changed the attitude of fish forever, and it's just like what we've seen big whitetail do. These crappie are changing. We just got to change with them. Yeah, that's the way it seems to be in modern technology, especially in electronics. For every plus, there's a minus, and that's one of the things I think you're spot on talking about is these fish, regardless of species, whether it's bass or crappie, with this new forward-looking sonar and all the activity there. It's not all wine and roses. There are some negatives that go on, and like you said, these fish are getting spookier and spookier. I agree with you totally. So that's something that's going to continue to change, and it may not all be for the better.
Dale, one thing I wanted to mention too is, we talked about all the tackle and stuff that's at the Grove Show, and it's no doubt going to be one of the best varieties of vendors that we've ever put together. But also want to mention our presenting sponsor, Gibson Bay Tackle Marine. They're the local bass cat dealership in northeastern Oklahoma. They're the go-to place for that. They've got an awesome tackle store in Locust Grove, Oklahoma. They have a full line marine dealership there, and Josh Gibson and his family have been a big part of making this show what it is, and I would really like to put a big thanks to them guys. We've also got a new sponsor, T-Mobile. T-Mobile came on board here about a month ago. You can come out and visit with those guys. We're also going to do the kids giveaway fishing night with the rod and reels Friday, starting at 4:30 at this event. You can come out and bring the kids, and get a free rod and reel for the kids. And also, we will have the indoor fishing pond there as well. If you've never taken your kids and ever got to take them fishing, maybe you're not real comfortable with that. And, we've got guys that's going to help your kids catch their first fish. That's something pretty cool.
Oh, man.
To take your kids, you could be changing their future forever. Kind of show them what the outdoors is all about and give them that chance to grow up just like my mom and dad did me. I mean,
Right.
I went to the tackle show when I was a little kid.
Right.
And it stuck with me. My brother's a full-time fishing and hunting guide, and I've kind of lived my life in the taxidermy and show promotion world. So, it pays off. Let them see what catching a fish or, we've also got a new deal that we're doing, the Oklahoma Game Wardens Association. This is kind of new for the Grove Show, and very proud to be a part of this. We're going to get to have a scoring booth for all the whitetail hunters out there. They're going to bring 5 different certified Ben Crockett, Pope and Young scorers for the record book, so you can bring your whitetail from any year. Doesn't matter how old, how new it is. You can bring your deer and have it officially scored for the Boone and Crockett, Cy Curtis, and the Pope and Young record book for Oklahoma, Cy Curtis. And, it doesn't cost anything. They do it free. They'll have a booth set up. They're going to have 5 different guys scoring whitetail deer.
Wow.
And that's kind of a cool deal. We've never had that in the Grove, in the Mid-South show before. It's going to be a big part of what we're doing this year. So if you got a whitetail that you're proud of, you're welcome to bring it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know it's just amazes me every year how you pack so much stuff into that building.
I'm not going to lie to you. It's tight, and it's probably tighter right now. I'm looking at the floor plan right now as we speak, and I'm like trying to create more space because we have so many new vendors wanting to be in this show.
Yeah, it's just an awesome show, and that's another one that, I've been going to that show for many years, and it just continues to improve every year. And once again, there's truly something for the whole family to be involved with or to look at, and there's not a better place on the planet to glean fishing information or hunting information, or even talk about boats or motors or tackle. There's a lot of people there with a lot of information and knowledge that's been on the water and in the field for many years.
We'll have a seminar at this show, one every hour. A different pro will get up on stage and talk about what his specialty is. And, we're going to have, from knife dealers to gun dealers to fishing tackle dealers to pro guide batteries, to,
Right.
Tackle boat guys from Blackbeard Marine, to Gibson Bait and Tackle Marine. We're going to have guys actually doing live boat wraps. They're going to actually be wrapping a boat in the show.
That's cool.
You can actually watch them do. One of the speakers, Shane Pickett, is going to have his boat wrapped during the event. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. There'll be taxidermy there. Van Moore Taxidermy will have their booth on display. There's a little bit of something for everybody. We've got vendors coming from 7 different states with tackle this year that I know of, maybe more than that. But there's going to be more variety of hunting and fishing vendors than we've ever had at the Mid-South Show for sure.
Wow, that's absolutely awesome. Now, once again, if someone's interested in more information about the Grove Show, what's that phone number again?
So you can call 918-520-3474, Vance Montgomery. I'll talk to you anytime, day or night. You can also go to the Mid-South Tackle Hunting and Boat Show website, MontgomeryProductions.com. And I will say this, probably the best thing to do is go on Facebook. If you got Facebook, we've got a great Mid-South Show Facebook page. We really update everything every day, every hour. Everything that's going on is going to be on Facebook, probably better than any other source that you have. And as things change on these shows every day, just keep looking at it like it's on Facebook, and you'll get to keep up with what's going on.
Now, folks,
one other thing that I will mention is that at this El Reno show and next weekend at Grove, a vendor that we did not mention, which I think a lot of people out there listening will want to come and look at, is we've got Beat Down Outdoors here, and they make some of the best and craziest electronic mounts you'll ever see. Everybody for sure needs to come out to this show and check out their products.
Well, we all need something like that, and nowadays with as many units as we have on front of the boat, and it better be sturdy too. Folks, once again, go ahead, Todd.
No, go ahead.
And folks, once again, we're talking about the show down in Grove, Oklahoma, and that's February the 18th through the 20th. And Vance, what's the hours on that show?
So the show hours for the Mid-South Tackle Hunting and Boat Show are Friday the 18th, 12 to 7. Saturday is 9 to 6. And Sunday is 10 to 5. 10 to 5 on Sunday.
Wow. And once again, folks, both of these shows are absolutely awesome. The El Reno show, February 11th through the 13th, is coming up this weekend, starting Friday, matter of fact. Don't miss that one. And then the week after, the Grove show, down in Grove, Oklahoma, or I should say up in Grove, Oklahoma, February the 18th through the 20th. The Grove, Oklahoma show is northeast Oklahoma. The El Reno show is kind of south central Oklahoma. So, no matter where you're at, we draw people, Texas, New Mexico, all over the place to come to these shows, all over Arkansas, Missouri, and those places. Kansas, I've talked to people from all those places. And these shows are absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Todd, do you have any last words you want to wrap this up with?
Excuse me, I lost you for just a second.
I said, do you have any last thing you want to throw in there that we're talking about?
Oh, I think we've pretty much covered everything. I mean, there's way too much. Vance and I are both sitting here looking at the layout for this show, and it would take us another hour to mention all these great companies that are coming. But,
I understand.
Trust me, if you come out here to El Reno or Grove, either one. If you can't find it, you don't need it.
If you can't find it, they don't make it. Yeah, that's for sure. Vance, you have any last words? Vance, you have any last?
I guess, as far as the Grove show, this is the show I started with 23 years ago, and it's definitely my baby, and I put my heart and soul in it every year to make this happen in a better way. And I'm as proud of this event for 2022 as I've ever been. And with that being said, I have a passion for fishing as much as anybody that's listening, and it would be definitely a show that I would be proud to come into. So with that being said, I think everybody that's listening is going to enjoy what they see, and they're going to find something that's going to help them be a better angler or a better hunter.
Well, folks, I want to end this too with I've been involved with Vance's shows for many, many years, and I've attended and been a spokesperson and seminars from one end of the country to the other, and there are no other shows that are so well put on for the angler or for the hunter. There's a lot of commercial shows out there, folks, but they do not do justice to the individual angler or the individual hunter like Vance's shows do. They're all wrapped up around that specific individual, and it shows. The quality of vendors that come to their shows and the different types of vendors they have at their shows are just awesome. They're 5-star.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Bill. That means a lot, man.
Well, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true, but
yep.
It is true.
We try really hard to give our best shot every year, and I'm not gonna lie, some years are better than others, and we're just in a real good place right now with the outdoor industry to be on that upside.
Yeah, and it shows. Like I said, every year it mirrors the effort that you guys put into that, because they are awesome shows. Once again, folks, that's El Reno, Oklahoma, February 11th through the 13th. That's coming up this Friday starting. And then a week after that's going to be in Grove, Oklahoma, February 18th through the 20th. And there's just going to be more stuff you can shake a stick at these shows. And, once again, I encourage anyone that's getting ready to stock up on tackle or maybe have some questions on new rigs or whatever that they might want to think about trying or learning, to come to these shows and ask your questions, because there's somebody around there that can answer them. Todd, Vance, thanks a lot for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. We'll certainly.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. We certainly wish you the best, and I know it's going to be. Both of these shows are going to be absolutely awesome, like they are every year. So once again, folks, this is Dale York for Just Fish Outdoors, and I've been talking to Todd Huckabee and Vance Montgomery of Montgomery Productions for the El Reno show, February 11th through the 13th, and the Grove, Oklahoma show, 18th through the 20th. So if you need any more additional information, jump out there on where's the best place to get a hold of you, Vance?
Montgomery Productions or our Facebook pages. Either way, you can get us there anytime, or 918-520-3474 or 520-FISH. Thanks, Dale.
Yeah, you bet. We'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, you did good. Thank you.
Bye-bye. This is Dale York, Just Fish Outdoors, saying we'll catch you later.